Hi there and welcome to another chapter reading for Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Today I shall be reading from Curse of the Sands, Relic Hunters by Martin Ferguson. Dulcis ex asperis, the Ferguson clan motto. Chapter 1. Abdul, in the Siwa oasis in Egypt. In all my years I have never seen such a storm. The sand tears at my flesh and chokes me with each breath. The strength of the storm threatens to tear down my own home. My family is below, locked in the cellar, praying for the storm to pass. But I'm the crazy one, climbing to the highest floor, battered by wind and sand. The lights flicker and fail, plunging me into darkness as the power goes out. Come back, I hear my wife plead. Come back, you fool, but I cannot. I must use every ounce of my will and energy to go on. I have to see it. I must see it. The flashes are blinding and the crack and boom of thunder is deafening. Again and again it roars and echoes. Putting my own life at risk is madness. God give me strength, I ask, forcing myself on. I reach the top of the stairs, forcing the door open inch by inch with all the energy reserves I have, until I emerge onto the roof to be battered down instantly by nature. With great pain and growing exhaustion I crawl, reaching the far side of the roof and a clear line of sight to the other buildings. Lightning strikes from the heavens, all hitting the same spot on the ground. It is unnatural and never witnessed before. Where they strike shocks me most. It appears to rise from the desert ground, causing the very sands to part. I don't believe it, I scream, ecstatic. I don't believe it. Chapter 2. Adam, in Telluride, Colorado, in the USA. 2 miles to target. My name is Adam Hunter, and I'm a 17-year-old college dropout. People call me irresponsible, foolish, reckless, and for the most part, they're probably right. 2 months ago, I was still studying, or failing to be more precise, lost among books and exams. Now I'm riding a borrowed Harley-Davidson motorcycle through a busy ski resort town in the middle of Colorado. Oh, and somewhere, somehow, I'm an operative for the British Museum, or as someone calls us, a hunter, seeking and protecting historical relics across the globe. Yeah, I still can't believe it myself. The town around me is picturesque, settled at the foot of the snow-topped San Juan Mountains. The ski resort is the main attraction and the streets are busy with tourist skiers and happy families. I guide the motorcycle down the wide roads. Nothing seems missed about this place at all. Are you sure I'm in the right place? I ask into my headset, which looks like a silver-rimmed set of glasses. It has a built-in microphone, headphones, and the latest in lens display technology. I'm sure, Abby replies. I smile at the warm familiarity of her Irish twang. It's already got me out of many scrapes. Did you know Telluride was originally a rough and tumble silver and gold mining town, long before it was a ski resort? Butch Cassidy and his gang, the Wild Bunch, robbed their first bank here in 1889. Oh really? I say, feigning interest. She continues to talk, giving me more background to the area than I could possibly take in or remember. I turn on the radio strapped to my arm and crank up the volume. Childish, I know, but it works. Okay, Abby yells over the headset. I get the message. Where next? I ask, turning down the radio with a smirk. The far side of town. You can't miss it. Abby's right. I spot my target from 3 streets away. Fences, sandbags, barbed wire, and a lot of guards in full US Army uniforms and gear. At the centre of it all is a school district. Em and Dave are in position? I ask. You don't need to worry, little brother, I hear Matt's voice over the headset. Just stick to the plan. Humour me, I reply, disliking his command over me. Dave? I hear him ask. Matt, my brother, is the one who should be here. He's the clever one, the brilliant one. I'm just here by dumb luck. Dave? Matt asks again. Yeah, I hear you. The rough voice of Dave Conway, former Special Officers soldier, replies. I'm ready and waiting if needed. Hurry up, it's bloody freezing here. As for Emma, Abby, our historian and human encyclopedia, says, well, you can see for yourself. The display on the left lens indicates the point in the mountains which surround the town ahead of me. The image zooms in closer, fixing on a target, until I can see a young woman, Emma Lovell, climbing down amongst the rock and snow. Her purple and red hair gives its identity away immediately. From this angle, my view is mainly of her backside. I've got a great view of her perfectly formed descent from here, I say with a grin. You'd better not be talking about me, she yells over the headset. Emma and Dave are support only, Adam, Matt tells me. This is recon, nothing more. Gain the intel we need and leave. This is just another test, isn't it? I ask. Stick to the plan, Matt repeats. Yes, sir, I mutter under my breath. Telluride School District, Abby states as I steer the motorcycle on closer. The district is made up of 4 schools, the elementary, intermediate, middle and high school. And the army has the district all cordoned off, I said, surveying the area. Looks like Charles is contacting the military, might be right. Only one way to know for certain. Yeah, sure, I replied. No worries. I avoid the main gate, seeing them flanked by guard towers and far too many armed men for even my liking. Circling the perimeter, I find a smaller, less secure entrance, guarded by only a single man, gates locked behind him. He has no insignia, no emblem of his unit, or anything identifiable on his uniform. Stop right there, the soldier warns, raising his weaponry towards me as I approach. He eyes me with contempt, instantly annoyed at my presence. Sorry, mate, I can't hear you, I shout, cranking up the volume of the radio at my arm as I dismount the motorcycle and pace closer. Turn that down, he yells at me. I can't, I lie, pretending to fumble with the controls and only succeeding in cycling through the radio stations. News, weather, something about the greatest sandstorm ever recorded. All of it screams from the radio before finally the music returns even louder. You make a very convincing idiot, Abby tells me. You sure it's an act? Damn it, the soldier curses, pacing towards me and grabbing the radio. This is my chance. Distract and act. With my free hand, I reach for the base unit of the soldier's comm set strapped at his waist, so I can attach a hacking device. This will enable our team to listen in on all of their communications. Just as I'm about to secure the device, he pulls away, alarm in his eyes. I fear I'm discovered before he takes a hurried step back, listening intently to his headset. I lower the volume of the music and remove my motorcycle helmet before hearing gunshots sound out. Dave, was that you? I whisper in shock. Nope, Dave replies. Get out of there, Adam, Emma warns me. Who are you speaking to? The soldier yells at me with raised handgun, terror in his eyes. Who are you with and what have you done? An alarm sounds across the school district, a droning, unending warning. Whoa, calm down, I try to tell the soldier, raising my hands as I stare down the barrel of his gun. This isn't me. From within the fenced-off school district, more gunshots sound out and I hear panicked voices. A man appears from across the yard. His clothes are soaked in blood. He staggers forward, twitching as he moves. Seeing the soldier and me, the man unleashes an inhuman screech before running towards us, crazed and screaming. His eyes freak me out most of all, yellow and hideously bloodshot, with dark green veins that spill out of his eyes and across his skin. It's the grossest thing I've ever seen. The soldier yells. The contagion has breached the quarantine into his headset and fires his gun at the ranging man until he finally collapses in a torn-up heap on the floor. The soldier turns his eyes to me. I'll ask you just one more time, what are you doing here? He demands, turning his weapon back to me. I strike before he can get me in his sights. Grabbing the barrel of the gun and pushing it away from me, I slam my motorcycle helmet across his face. He stumbles, stunned, and it is all the chance I need. In my hands is his military baton, taken from his belt as he bolted. I hit once hard, knocking the soldier out cold. Sorry, I say, dragging him out of sight. What are you doing, Adam? Matt demands. This was not part of the plan. Was the military gunning down people in the middle of the school district part of the plan? I snap. I activate the hacking device and instantly hear the cries and warnings of more soldiers who are within the compound. Inner labs have been breached. Help. Dr. Leeds has been contaminated. The infected are breaking through. Breaches detected in the west and south buildings. The virus has broken containment. All personnel put gas masks on now. All units stationed on the perimeter do not let any personnel leave the compound, whether they are infected or not. That is a direct order. Kill and destroy all infected. More terrifying inhuman screams echo across the district, met by a spattering of gunshots. I rifle through the doctor's pockets quickly, recovering an ID door pass, which my glasses scan. Should just take a moment, Abby tells me, before the insignia of a dagger stabbing down into a snake appears on the headset lens. Covert Unit 57, Special Operations known as the Crimson Knights. According to our records, they're usually dispatched to investigate areas with perceived hazardous and biological threats. Suddenly, a warning appears across the headset lens, words flashing red. Celeste virus detected. Destroy the source immediately. It can't be, Matt says in shock before the words quickly disappear from the glasses. Celeste virus. That's bad, right? I ask. It's then I see a gas mask attached to the soldier's equipment. You need to get out of there, Adam. Fall back to the rendezvous point. That goes for all of you. Dave, fall back and regroup. This is General Walcott. Is the virus at risk of breaching the compound? A formal voice asks over the soldier's headset. Sir, we are doing all we can to contain the... Is the virus at risk of breaching the compound? The General repeats. Yes. Another voice finally concedes. Then I am instigating a clean slate protocol, the General says. I am ordering all uninfected personnel to the rendezvous at Site 3, 20 minutes south of Telluride, for the decontamination. I am instigating a cordon of 30 miles around the town. The clean slate protocol will commence in 15 minutes. So what about the civilians? Another voice on the headset asks. There is no time to commence a full evacuation. Do you understand the consequences if you are not clear of Telluride in 15 minutes? Yes, sir, a distant, stunned voice replies. May God have mercy on us all, another voice prays. Clean slate. That mean what I think it does? I ask Matt and Abby. Fire on the entire area by fighter jet, Abby replies, her voice flat and full of sorrow. Leave nothing alive, not even bacteria, no traces. And they're willing to sacrifice all these people, I say, seeing the town behind me and knowing it's full of families. You have to get out of there, Adam, Matt urges. There's nothing you can do. This is an order for all Echo Team to immediately evacuate the area. How many people live in Telluride? I ask. Over 2,300, plus hundreds of skiers and tourists. Why did the glasses warn me to destroy the source of the virus? I ask. What is it? Adam, you need to leave. What is the virus? I demand. Airborne contagion, Abby explains hurriedly. The infected are driven feral, crazed, destroy the source and destroy the virus. And those already infected? They should return to normal in time without further inhalation of the virus. I look back at the town, at least 2,300 people who have no idea what's going on. 2,300 innocents. Without thinking, I keep the soldier's ID hat and unclip his gas mask from his uniform, pulling it over my head. I search for his keys too, but they're nowhere to be found. With no other option, I take the soldier's firearm and pull the trigger 5 times, destroying the lock on the gate. The recoil thunders up my arm, but once the gate swings open, I throw the weapon away, knowing I'll be useless with it. It took me 5 attempts to hit the lock, let alone a real moving target. What the hell do you think you're doing, Adam? Matt yells at me. I gave you an order to leave. Matt, shut up, I yell back as I mount the motorcycle and start up its engine. I cannot just leave all these people behind to die. Could you do it? He doesn't answer initially. This is too dangerous, he argues. We have already warned the local authorities to evacuate. They'll never get the people clear in time. Adam, I'm ordering you to leave, Matt yells at me. Sorry, Abby, I say, breaking a promise to her as I remove the glasses and fold them into my jacket. The droning siren echoes all around, and gunfire and screaming can still be heard as I enter the school district. The compound is in utter disarray. Slowly I guide the motorcycle on, careful of discovery by the remaining soldiers, or the crazed infected by whatever the hell virus it is. Hold it right there, an order comes from behind me. 2 soldiers are advancing with their weapons raised. I bring the bike to a stop, the soldiers too close for me to make a quick getaway. You wandered into the wrong neighbourhood, kid, the soldier says. Take off the gas mask and show us your eyes. Show us you're not infected. They're closing on me, but as I remove the gas mask, I see a shadow of a figure quickly approach. Suddenly, both soldiers are struck from behind in a blur of strikes and kicks until both have fallen to the ground, still alive but dazed. Will you ever not need rescuing? Emma asks with a broad grin across her face. Emma Lovell is a year or 2 older than me, and her attitude towards me generally varies between annoyed and infuriated. Your brother is furious with you, you know, she states with contempt. I'm used to it in my family, I reply. I'm not that happy with you either. You shouldn't have broken comms. What are you doing here anyway? They've ordered an evacuation of the entire area. You really think the town will get clear in time? We've got 12 minutes to get clear ourselves. Stay here and you'll either get yourself shot or bombed to pieces by the army's jets. The door to the building near to us flies open and a man dressed in a blood-spattered white lab coat falls through the doorway. Before Emma or I can move, 2 others fall through the door, their eyes yellow and bloodshot. They scream and tear at the man beneath them. Emma draws a handgun as she sees the fiends looking up towards us. Another infected appears, then another, until almost 10 have gathered, all staring intently at us. Time to go, Emma warns. Get on, I tell her, revving the motorcycle's engine as she throws a leg over the bike and holds onto me tightly. We hurtle away with the infected chasing us. They are screaming as they thunder towards us. The few soldiers who remain open fire from the guard towers above. I can't tell if their target is us on the bike or our predators. Bullets strike all around. We cross the compound, circling around the school district buildings and past more of the now empty structures. Left, left, Emma shouts from behind me. Pulling out onto the far west of the compound, a loud crash sounds in front of us. A jeep smashing its way through the fences. Infected are still giving chase, but the jeep driver quickly emerges, gunning down our pursuers with precision. Cavalry's here, Emma cheers as we skid to a halt next to the jeep. Damn right it is, the jeep's driver replies as he reloads his rifle. Dave Conway, former soldier and combat medic, mid-30s, very angry. What the hell are you doing, kid? He yells at me. You had orders. We've now only got 10 minutes to get clear of this place. You two go, I tell them, urging Emma off the motorcycle as I pull on the gas mask again. Get as many of the townspeople away before the jets reach their target in case I fail. You got a plan? Emma yells at me over the motorcycle's engine. Haven't thought that far ahead yet, I reply, sending the bike forwards. Where are you going, kid? Dave demands. Don't do this, Emma shouts, but I'm already gone. Thank you for listening to me read this chapter out. If you want to hear or read more, then feel free to go see the book. And thank you very much for joining us. Bye-bye.